Okay, testing. Good morning, everyone. So today we're going to this is S4 geography. So today we're going to continue on the topic how do fluvial processes that may shape the land. Okay, so today that will be part three. So last time we have already talked about like the landscape in the middle course and also the lower course. Last time I have already explained like the formation of the meander and also the Oxbow Lake. And today I would continue to talk about to explain like what would be the features, what would be the landforms that may occur at the lower course, okay, at the lower course. So let's start. Okay, so you may take out your textbook. So last time we talked about the Oxbow Lake. Okay, so I remember I forget to talk about these two questions. So that would be two basic information about the Oxbow Lake. Okay, so especially for question one, how would you describe the shape of the lake? Okay, so this is very important. Okay, so you may say like that would be written like okay like a horseshoe. Okay, horseshoe. Okay, crescent, half moon, or sometimes you may say that could be like U shape. That is how we describe the Oxbow Lake. Okay. And also, large-scale oxbow lake is rarely found in Hong Kong. So this is also important, but I think that would be a little bit easy for us to explain. It is because the river valley in Hong Kong, that is not large enough, and also in Hong Kong we don't have the flat land, okay, for the river to bend or wind, okay, so therefore that could be a little bit difficult to develop the large scale oxbow lake. And last time I talked about one of the oxbow lake like the artificial, okay, due to the process of artificial channelization, okay, so a lake, okay, like an oxbow lake, it is formed, but that is not really uh, a natural oxbow lake. So therefore, there will be some extra information for Oxbow Lake. And then let's start. Okay, so what are we going to talk about today? We're going to discuss like what should be the formation of other landscape in the lower course. Okay, the first one, floodplain and okay, levees. Okay, floodplain in Chinese we call it 泛滥平原啦. Okay, levees in Chinese. Okay, so you may understand it could be like something like 河堤, something like this. Okay, so what would be floodplain and levees? Or you may say levees. Remember, uh, yes, just now Mr. Liu mentioned that could be like a hotai, but it is necessary for you to mark it. That is, remember this one that would be pure natural that is formed naturally. Okay, so for this levee, so what would be like the floodplain? Okay, floodplain first. So for floodplain, okay. So the amount normally in the lower course that is usually the amount of water that is usually large. So therefore, during the rainy season, so flooding that may occur easily. Okay, that may occur easily. So during the rainy season, okay, flooding that may occur. So therefore, when the water that is when the river channel that is not able to hold all the water, so river water that will overflow the banks and lead to flooding. Okay, flooding. Then the flood water actually that would carry out lot of, so you may highlight this, lot of loads. So from the upper course and also middle course, so erosion has been carried out. So therefore, it should be a lot of load, okay, lot of load inside the river. So therefore, when those load that is carried to the lower course, uh, that could be when the energy of the river that go relatively low. So therefore, that position that may occur. So therefore, when the river that carries lots of load. You may look at this. When the floodwater slow down here, it means lost energy. Lost energy. So it deposit its load. It deposit its load. And repeating flooding cause deposition to build up. Please highlight this one. Okay, this is important. A large flat piece of land, either on either side of a river. OK， 喺條河兩邊嘅地方就會形成一個比較大啲嘅平坦啲嘅地方啦。OK， 平坦啲嘅平原。OK，and this is what we call floodplain. In Chinese 泛濫平原啦。So therefore, all the area actually that is covered by the deposition of the load, okay, after repeating flooding, and those floodplain, okay, the deposits on the floodplain, that is what we call alluvium, alluvium 沖積土啦。So they are very fertile and good for farming. So therefore, after repeating flooding, so the area that is covered by the river load, or just now we mentioned like the alluvium, and it will form the floodplain. Okay. For example, like in Hong Kong. So where is the floodplain in Hong Kong? So let's have a look. Okay. So about the case in Hong Kong. Okay. I need to open another tape. So let's have a look like the case in Hong Kong. So in Hong Kong, so we can see like the floodplain. For example, this one. Okay. This is Yuen Long. This is Yuen Long. And you will see in Yuen Long, there's a river. There's a river there. Okay, there's a river there. That is Cam Tin River. Cam Tin River. So therefore, after repeating flooding in this place, okay, so if I switch to the satellite image, or this, right now, okay, of course you can see that most area that would be the settlement, but in the past, most area would be the farmland. Okay, most area would be the farmland, and it is also like a floodplain. So that is one of the floodplain, like in Hong Kong, and other floodplain, okay, you can see that right here. Okay, for this part, okay, so this is also like the fatland, this one in Chinese, that is the area of 塱原濕地啦，塱原濕地。In Ho Shang Hang, and in this area, okay, you can also see there's a river. Okay, so this river is a 雙魚 river， 雙魚河啦，曾經都係一個好大嘅農田，喺香港嘅一個農田。So another, okay, like here, Tong River, that will be in Shang Shui. So this area, this is also, it was also a floodplain. But right now, if you look at the satellite image, you can see that most area has been developed into like the settlement. So therefore, you won't see any farmland. So that's why we need to go to the other countries. We go to the foreign country to have a look. Okay, where would be like the floodplain. Okay, so for example, if we go to Zhujiang Delta here, okay, Zhujiang Delta here, 珠江三角洲一帶啦 okay. For example, if we move a little bit northeast of Hong Kong, for this area, that would be the delta, okay, this delta area. Okay, I would say all this farmland, that is also built on the floodplain. So for floodplain, okay, it is necessary for you to see, okay, there should be like a river, a large river. And for other cases, such as like in Egypt, okay, like in Egypt, for example, okay, so today, So my background image here. So this is the Nile River. So that area, the farmland here, this is also built on the floodplain. Okay, 泛南平原. So remember that is as the deposit, the load that would be the alluvium, it is good for farming. So therefore you can see a lot of farmland. Okay, so on the floodplain. So there will be a lot of examples. So therefore, right now I'm not going to show all the examples. Okay, then we move to the next. Okay, levee. So what would be levee? So let's have a look here. Okay, so once floodwater overflow from the channel, its speed drop. Okay, its speed drop rapidly, and the larger and heavier load is deposited. Okay, please highlight this. That would be the very important. First, close to the river banks. First, close to the river banks. So what does that mean? That is when the water, okay, when the river water that overflow from the river, okay, like this. When the water first flowed, okay, from the river, overflowed from the river. So it first deposits to the river banks. So that the load will first deposit in the river banks first. Why? It is because when the water that overflowed, okay, it may lose in energy. So therefore, the largest load that would deposit first, and it should be close to the river banks. So therefore, over time, over repeating deposition, okay, you can see the banks would be raised. The banks would be raised. 兩邊嘅河堤係啦，兩邊河堤河岸嗰度，佢就會慢慢咁樣升高，造成一個天然嘅河堤，forming a natural embankment. Okay, this low ridge. Okay, this one, please highlight this. That is how we describe the levee. Low ridge-like features. 好似一個拱起咗嘅地方啦，係啦，上升咗少少嘅。And this one we call it levee. Okay, in Chinese, is that in Chinese in your textbook? The Chinese, no Chinese name. So you may just mention this like 天然堤, something like this. Okay, so therefore that will first deposit at this point, and form a natural dike. Okay, so a natural embankment. So that is what we call the levee. And here you can see the formation. So the criteria of the formation, it should be after many floodings. Okay, so therefore then both floodplain and levee, so it would be formed. So that would be about the formation of these two landscapes. Okay, then we move to the next. After floodplain, okay, for example, in your textbook you can also see okay, a floodplain in Changjiang. So normally floodplain will occur at the lower course. Remember, on an extensive flatland, and if you can see the river, then you can say that could be like the flatland, floodplain. Okay, then next, braided stream. Braided stream in Chinese, we may call it 邊狀河。邊狀河，好似側邊嗰條邊狀河。Okay, so what would be like the formation of the braided streams? Okay, so let's see. So when the water level drops, during dry season. Okay, here that would be very important. There must be dry season. When there's dry season, so the water level drops. So therefore, when water level drops, it means that would be again lost energy. So the river will lose energy. Okay, then deposition that may occur, and deposition that would occur at the river bed. Okay, at the river bed. Deposition at the river bed that would occur. So therefore, that would raise the riverbed, and sometimes that would form low ridge. 會形成一啲好比較 高少少嘅 ridge，我哋會叫做啦，即係上升咗，不過佢都會比較低嘅，上升咗拱起咗呢個地方嘅。As the river water return, okay, to the previous level during the wet season. Okay, the river flow is blocked by this ridge. What does that mean? Okay, you may have a look. Imagine that would be the riverbed. Riverbed. Okay, so the story that could be like this. Originally. So the river that is flowing, the water that is flowing. Okay, I may draw a little bit hard. The water that is flowing, okay, the water that is flowing on the river, but during the dry season, so the riverbed that would become low. Sometimes it may lose its energy, so therefore, some area there will be the deposition, or that could be more deposition. Okay, so when there's wet season again, so the water level that becomes higher. So therefore, when the water flow back, okay, so the river, the channel that could be blocked by the this ridge, then highlight this. The river is forced to split into several separate channels and flow around this ridge before it can rejoin and form the main channel. And for the braided stream, we may call it a split channel. 佢係分開咗㗎啦，得唔得 ？Okay, so therefore, that could be like this. In your textbook, you can see that for this figure. Okay, so when the water flow downstream, and there could be the deposition, okay, in the river. So therefore, that may block the main channel. That's why just now we have mentioned. So if you look at this, the river that may split, 佢哋分散開嘅，然之後再去到匯合埋翻埋一齊。Okay, this one we may call the braided stream. For example, if this is the formation, the figures that shows the braided stream, then this one, okay, like in Wang He, there should be the real picture of a braided stream. You can see that. So in the middle here, okay, in the middle of the river, all this place, that is what we just call the ridge, that is formed by the deposition. Okay, that is formed by deposition, and the river that split then rejoin. Okay, this is a braided stream, and the most important, remember, so how under what condition that braided stream that may occur? Normally, there must be dry season. 記得通常會係一個比較乾旱，有乾旱嘅情況，出現。因為點解有乾旱情況出現呢？咁先至容易會導致有邊狀河呢？就係因為有乾旱嘅時候，咁水位就會跌到非常之低，甚至乎會有斷流 cut off of river. So therefore, deposition that may occur at the riverbed. Then the deposition that may developed at the riverbed to form this ridge. 所以佢喺河底嗰度先至會有呢啲堆積，形成一嚿咁樣。係啦，咁當佢慢慢升高，慢慢高啲啦，然之後即係聚合咗啦。記住唔係一次就形成嘅，係好多次。OK， 然之後當有水流嘅時候就會可能俾呢啲淤積咗喺河底嘅淤積物擋住咗，然之後嗰條河咧就會分翻開啦。So therefore, that's why what we have mentioned for a few times. So that is a braided stream. This is also like a split channeled. Okay, braided stream. Okay, so therefore that would be the the formation of braided stream. And then, so what would be the two conditions, okay, so which favor the formation of braided stream, okay? So first, there should be the abundant supply of sediment, okay? So rapid and frequent variation in river discharge，要有好經常有落差嘅條河流嘅水量，得唔得？咁所以頭先就會講有dry season 啦，and also banks with fairly loose material which are quite easy to erode a rate and move downslope. So therefore, that provide also other material, okay, for the deposition of those ridge. So therefore, like braided stream. And here, okay, so you may have a look in there. Okay, so that is in New Zealand. That is in New Zealand. So I would say that would be also like an example of braided stream. And if we look at the street view here, okay, so you can see that the river that is split by the middle one by the deposition, right over there. Okay, so if I turn around, okay, if I turn around, you can also see that like this. Okay, braided stream. Braided stream. Okay, then the last one. The last features. Okay, delta. Delta, 三角洲. So for delta, I would say, so the formation that is also simple. That is mainly formed by deposition. Okay, mainly formed by deposition. So what would be like the formation of delta? Okay, delta is a depositional landform found at the, okay, please mark this, at the mouth of river. 一定大部分嘅情況就會喺河口嗰度出現㗎啦。Okay, so when a river enters the sea, the speed of river flow drops. So it means again energy that the river lost its energy. So when the river that enter a large water body, okay, it will lose energy. So therefore, when a river that enter the sea, the speed of flow drops and it lost energy. Then the river that deposit its load, okay, please highlight that one. Layer upon layer， 每一次一層一層咁樣去到沉積㗎啦。And then a gently sloping platform of sediment gradually build up and extends to the sea. That is what we call delta. So therefore, you may have a look about the figures here. Okay, so you can see that when the river that flows to the sea, and that position that may occur at this place, and at the river mouth, okay, so that position that may occur layer upon layer, okay, so there could be more in the futures. So therefore, a new land will be formed. Okay, and that is what we call delta. So as the delta growth, sediments block the river channel. The river may then split again. 一樣啦，當啲新嘅土地形成咗之後，咁係咪會擋住條河啊？梗係唔係啦，條河會繼續會係去到向海嗰度流，但係會有一個情況出嚟，佢亦都可能會係去到 split 開嘅，分開嘅。And this small channel that is called these tributaries. So before we have learned like the tributaries 支流啦，但係去到 delta 我哋會有 these tributaries. In Chinese we may call it 分流啦，分流。Sometimes lagoons formed during the process. Lagoon, it means lake pool. So I will talk about the meaning or the formation of lagoons when we talk about the coastal landform. Okay, so I'm not going to explain like the formation of lagoon right now. So therefore, what would be the like the these tributaries? So you may have a look about this uh, figure. Okay, so the originally, so the water, the river that floats the river, but since okay, so new land that is formed here, that is formed here. So therefore, the these tributaries, so that may float, that may float, that may float on the land, that may float on the land. Okay, so this is what we call these tributaries. Okay, so you may have a look, you may have a look on the real case. So right now I'm going to show you the area of Nile River. Okay, if we move to Nile River, okay, in Africa here, you can see that. So this is Nile River. This is Nile River Delta. Okay, and here that would be the Nile River. Okay, and you can see that. Okay, if I zoom in, you can see the channel. You can see the river channel. Okay, that is very obvious. So the dark one here, that is the river channel. Okay, then if we move to the downstream, okay, we can still see the channel. We can still see the channel. However, start from this point, okay, you can see that start from this point. You can see that the river okay, that split into two, that split into two. Okay, if I zoom out, you can see that actually that has already enter the area of the delta. So therefore, the river that may split, okay, in the delta, okay, you can see that, you can see that. So this one, for example, you can see that split again, but this one I think that would be like artificial because the shape that is like a straight line, okay. And then, okay, you can see there could be more it should be here more streamed, okay, and this is what we call distributaries, okay, 一個分流啦. So therefore that would be the formation about the delta, okay. Okay, so therefore, okay, on figure 21 you can see that, you can see that there will be the formation of the delta, okay, like a repeating blocking and breaking through the extent of deposit seaward fan-shaped mudflat that will form, okay, fan-shaped mudflat that will form, and it is called like a delta. And in your textbook you can also see here, so that is about the onshore current, onshore current. I will explain this when we talk about like the rate process, okay, and you will see, okay, a small lake that built inside the delta, okay, so just separate, okay, separate from the river, separate from the sea. This is what we call the lagoon, 瀝湖啦, 瀝湖啦, okay. So I'm not going to explain like what would be the lagoon at this moment. So therefore, okay, after that, what are the conditions? What are the conditions that may favor the formation of delta? Okay, mark 3 star. Okay, mark 3 star for that part. 唔該間低佢，呢一 part 係好重要嘅， 係啦。So the condition that may favor the formation of delta. Okay, the first one. Okay, I may move a little bit. Okay, you may not see. Okay, so for this part, okay, so what would be the condition that may favor the formation of delta? Okay, the first one, there must be large amount of sediment，一定要好大量嘅搬運物喺條河入邊。Okay, so therefore that may favor the process of deposition. That would be the first one. Okay, the second one. Please wait. The second one. The sea must have a small tidal range and weak current, which favor deposition. So this one that is related to uh, the characteristic of the wave. The characteristic of the wave. OK，呢個係睇翻係海岸嗰個嘅條件。The first one, there must be a small tidal range，一定要有一個好細嘅潮汐嘅差距。咁點解呢？因為咁會係令到沉積嗰個嘅喺河口個沉積呢，會係比較容易。And also there must be a weak current. Weak current here it means the sea above or the wave. Okay, which favor that position. 咁海浪一定啦，唔可以有咁大嘅咁大嘅 energy 先啦，得唔得？Okay, so therefore that would be the second one. And then number 3, the rate of deposition that is faster than the rate of removal of deposit. Okay, what would be the rate of removal of deposit? It is because there could be affected by the erosion of the wave. OK， 咁因為佢係會近河口嘅，咁所以咧，咁佢喺近海嘅地方咧，一樣都會有erosion 係去到出現。So if the erosion, the rate of erosion, the removal of the deposit that is faster, okay, so that position that would be relatively difficult to formed. Okay, I'm sorry that my belt that rained. So please give me a moment, okay? Okay, so let's continue. So therefore, that would be about like the erosion, okay, at the sea, and then the last one, the sea must be shallowed at the river mouth. Why? It is because shallowed sea, okay, so that would also favor, okay, that would favor that position. Okay, so this one, if you do not understand now, okay, I will say it. So normally, shallow sea favor that position, and deep sea, okay, or the deep sea bed, or a steep slope that would favor erosion. That is related to the gradient. Okay, so we will explain it for the next chapter when we talk about like the wave process. Okay, when we talk about like the coastal environment. So therefore, these four, these four conditions, okay, four conditions, so that may favor the formation, okay, of delta. Okay, so that would be about like this. And so the last paragraph here, it mentioned that delta are important for agricultural area. Okay, this is because sediment deposit is rich, or we would say like the fertile soil, so full of the alluvium. So therefore farming, okay, it will be good. On the other hand, okay, flooding, that is also common, okay, in the delta. Okay, so right now, let me show you some famous delta in the world. Okay, in your textbook, in your textbook, you can see that. So this one, that would be like in Changjiang. At the river mouth of Changjiang, okay, there would be the delta. There would be the delta. Okay, so this island that is called 崇明島啦，崇明島咁就會係同大過香港嘅呢個，OK，so that is a part of the delta. So that would be in Changjiang. And then right now, let me show you, okay, and other delta just now we have mentioned, okay, like in at the river mouth of Nile Valley, okay, of the Nile Valley, okay, so that is like a delta, like a fan shaped，好似把線咁樣噶啦，fan shaped. And then next one, okay, let me show you this. That would be a very famous delta, okay, in the world. Okay, that is at the in USA, right here. This one, okay, in USA right here. This one, that is the Mississippi River, if I remember correct. That is not shown. Uh, yes, Mississippi River, 墨西西比河啦。Okay, you can see that. Okay, so that would be the delta. So that is like a bird foot. Okay, 好似隻雀仔嘅腳咁樣嘅。Okay, so this is also like a kind of delta. So therefore, there could be a lot of delta at the river mouth, okay, in the world. And one more, let me show you. Okay, so like in Hong Kong, okay, near Hong Kong, 我哋成日講嘅珠江三角洲啦。Okay, so let me off the label. And all this area, okay, all this area, you can see that all this area. This is also like a delta, okay, and then we may move to the here, Bangladesh, okay, Bangladesh. All this area, this is also like a delta, and you can see there's a lot of these tributaries, okay, so at the river mouth. So therefore, that would be delta. Delta, remember, that would be good for farming. Okay. So therefore, that would be about like the formation of the features of the landscape at the lower coast. Okay. So next time, okay. We're going to do. Okay, so what are you going to do next? So please finish the checkpoint exercise Okay, please finish the checkpoint exercise and also like the unit summary. So next online lessons. So I will check the answer with you, and also I will talk about some extra information, okay, about like the delta or about like the meander or oxbow lake. So remember to finish this exercise, and also please pay attention to the Google Classroom, pay attention to the email, pay attention to the announcement. Okay, so before I broadcast lessons, okay, I will inform you about like 1 or 2 days, okay, before 1 or 2 days. So therefore, please pay attention. So finish this exercise first. So we will check the answer. Then after that, we will talk about the next unit 2.4. How do human influence and manage the river environments？咁我哋講完啲天然嘢啦，下一堂咧我哋就會講下啲人為嘅嘢，啲人點樣會影響一個河流嘅嗰個嘅發展呢？Okay, so how human that may modify the river channel. So that would be our next topic. Okay, so remember, finish the exercise first. Finish the exercise first. Next time, okay, so we're going to check the answer. Okay, so and I will tell you when will be the checking section. Okay, so then that's all for today. I will see you next week. Okay, goodbye.